I'm a bit early.
Yeah.
Just, how shall we? Talk over together. May I begin with something and then you can know.
This is J. Krishnamurti's sixth discussion with teachers at Rishi Valley,
I was wondering,
1978.
why a school of this kind has not produced or not brought about during all these 40 years and more few human beings who are not just mediocre, joining the whole social structure, who are flowering deeply and really religiously, with very good minds and all that. I've been wondering why a school of this kind has not brought about such human beings. Neither here nor at Rajghat. There are the two older schools, or whatever you call them. I don't like to use the word institution, because the word institution means that which is firmly fixed. Stare, Latin and all the rest of it, means to stay put. And generally institutions are, you know what they are, not alive, moving, changing. Therefore, I don't like to use that word institution, if you don't mind. Why is it that we haven't been there? We haven't brought about such human beings.
So how can we say that we haven't?
How can you say that we haven't? I challenge you, sir. That's my question. Have we, I say. Why haven't we? You say, how do you know, how do I know that you haven't brought about such human beings? Obvious. If you have done it, they would be like flames in the world. They would be deeply psychological revolutionaries. I mean, you can't hide a light under a bushel. So I'm questioning, can we do this? If we desire to do it, how shall we set about it? Apart from excellent academic business, career, A and O level, can we bring about such human beings? I was talking to Narayan the other day, yesterday or day before, having a small college here. Not with hundreds of students, but a very limited college. So that you have students from the age of 5 or 8 or 7 till they're 21. So that you keep them in this environment, in this ambiance, in this atmosphere. Not just when they reach 18, throw them out to the wolves. We've just haven't had time to go into it. We're just talking about it. Having a very small college of very select students, and so on. Now I'm asking, if I may, please, I'm not trying to impose something on you. I'm just saying how important it is for a school of this kind, which has existed for so many years. It hasn't produced one human being. I don't know, sir, I'm just pointing out the tragedy of it, that's all. And if it is our intention, then what shall we do? Otherwise, the school has no meaning, essentially. Just to turn out BAs and MAs, or some kind of business and engineers. Good Lord, the world is full of them. How shall we set about it? If that is, you also want this. That's one issue. The other thing I would like to discuss is if it is possible to stop all competition here. Any sense of competition. I don't know how you regard competition as necessary or an evil thing. And if it can be stopped, how shall we stop it? That's another thing I would like to discuss today and tomorrow. And also, it's a rather delicate subject. I would like to ask, if I may, if we know what love is. No, not in the sense I love, or the quality of that extraordinary state. I'm not generalizing. That's absurd. It would be rather foolish and very limited. But can one ask, has the Indian mind this quality of affection, love? It doesn't mean that in England it exists and in America it exists. It exists nowhere practically. I'm not comparing this country with any other country. I'm just asking. So I would like, if I may, to discuss the three things. First, can we bring about at least few students out of these 300 odd students that we have here? Can we, out of that, 20? Can we? Please, discuss.
What is the quality of the mind of the teacher which
And
can bring about?
Wait, we're coming to that. First, let's see if we want this. If all of us, both here, Rajghat, there are people, Mrs. Ahilyaji,
There's a basket on your right.
they like me. I'm sweet to them. Ahilya ji and his Upasan ji and Rajesh from Benares, Rajghat. Can we, first in principle, let's discuss this. Then we'll work in detail, work it out. Is that what we want? Should we work for that? Apart from bringing about a good academic career for everybody. That means A level and O level. You know what those A level, Cambridge, Oxford. If A level and O level are accepted in France, in America, in England, so it is practically universal, except perhaps Russia and China. So can we do that? In principle, let's discuss it. Not whether the teachers are capable or not, but first, in principle, I say, as a thing, do we wish it? That is, having about 20, 30 students, grooming them carefully, looking after them, about their bodies, about their mind, the whole thing, which will not create jealousy amongst the others. And are we capable of it? Do we want it? If we want something, we have the capacity. If we don't want it, then we talk about capacity. I wonder if you're following what I'm saying, all this. Do we want this here? If we don't want it, then what's this function of the school? Just to turn out a lot of mediocre students, perhaps a little more polite, a little more decent, a little more kindly, but always caught in the trap. Wouldn't you kindly discuss this?
Sir, you implied that if you want this, you'll have the capacity. I also feel that there is something like working at something. If you an academic capacity can be acquired by working at it. Knowledge of a subject, teaching methods.
So,
one acquires an excellence after 5.
So if you want a very good garden, beautiful garden, I study, I inquire, I find out people who have good gardens and invite them. I will discuss with them. Go over the land which is barren, I say, and so the moment there is the intention, the capacity is born out of that intention. I mean, if I want to marry somebody, I don't, God forbid, if I want to marry somebody, then I inquire, I walk, nothing prevents me. So do we want this? Please discuss this with me. Mrs. Major, do you want your children, you've got 2 of them here, to be totally different from the rest of the world? Real human beings, not half-baked, childish, immature for the rest of their life, who are totally developed, so not only academically but psychologically, who have all the rest of it. Is that what we want? Come on, sir.
Sir, we believe that we are here because we want it.
Huh?
We believe that we are here because we want it.
Do you really want it? Then what will you do about it?
I'll start working on it.
Huh?
I'll start working.
Huh?
I'll start working on it.
Why have you done it?
Yes.
Have you got some students, 20, 30, whom you are helping to grow into real, mature human beings?
Not 20, 30 students, but one person I could help.
Big pardon, I can't.
One person I could help, sir. And I haven't been
No,
in school.
in principle, do we want this? Not that you can do it and somebody else can do it. In principle, all of us who are both at Rishi Valley, Rajghat and Bangalore, do we want this? Please see the implications of it. That you cannot, out of 300, make all the 300 marvelous human beings. If you can, so much the better. That being so, are there promising young boys and girls without making them feel exclusive, something strange, and therefore the others are jealous, and so become cruel to them, and you know the whole series of it. And find 20 or 30 boys and girls and help them, discuss with them, be with them. In principle, if we agree, not mentally agree, I don't mean that. That's, any fool can mentally say, yes, marvelous idea, and then just drop it. But if we all put our heart into it, in principle, I mean, our minds and our hearts say, yes, this is what we want. Then together we can work out details. What do you say, Mr. Krishnamurti?
Definitely.
In principle, first your heart is in it. Mr. Venkataraman, what? Sir, tell, no, I don't have to ask you. You might agree intellectually, theoretically. That's useless. But if you say this from my heart, I want this for my children. Then the very urge to have it creates extraordinary, brings about quite a different quality and atmosphere. Rajesh, sir, what do you say? You, come on, sir.
We tried this at Rajghat, sir, with about 16 children with Rajesh. And something beautiful was happening. But as you say, that chain of other people and the whole campus did bog us down.
No, but I want to know, not I, please, as a human being, if I had children here, I say, please, don't make them into ordinary, stupid, immature, childish, grown-up people. I say, I trust them to you.
So there are very deep implications, because we ourselves are growing in the same process.
Yes, sir, I come to that presently. First, I want to find out, if one wants to find out, if this school, both Rajghat here and so on, Bangalore, if this is the foundation, if this is the basis, if it is the intention.
Yes, sir.
You're not answering. Until you answer, I can't go on, right? What do you say, sir, from Bangalore? The rest are so. Are you all tongue-tied, or is it all?
It is our intention.
So is the intention intellectual, or from the depth of your being? You must be clear on this issue. If it's merely intellectual, you will find all kinds of hindrances, all kinds of barriers. You put to yourself impossible questions. But if it is from your very depth of your being, you will find the answers coming up. You will find the solution as they arise. You won't talk, so what am I to do?
Yes, sir, the desire is from
Huh?
the desire is from the heart.
If that is, you have it, lady, perhaps. But the rest, what will you do if they haven't got it? Bang them on the head? What will you do?
Is it important that everybody else should also have
What, sir?
Is it important that everybody else should also have it?
If you have it and I haven't got it, I'll be jealous of you. I'll do something to hurt you. I will prevent you. I will consciously or unconsciously, I'll kind of say, oh, he is superior, all kinds of things arise from it.
No, sir, if we are strong, they won't affect us.
Huh?
If we are strong enough, they will not affect us.
Not if. Are you?
Surely a staff that's working together is much stronger and has much more impact.
Gee, will it
Depends on what result comes in the book. That's exactly what he's asking us. Are we in tune with the principle or not? And
Yeah.
none of us have really given him an assertive answer.
Are you?
Sir, I don't know how to express it. Well, one wants it.
You understand, merely I want a good dress, but I
Well,
won't.
not that way, not that way. I don't know how to explain it. I just can't bring it out into words. Let me think about it a little more. I might be able to put it in a...
You're pretty good at articulating, so don't.
No, I'm not trying to hedge.
all Indians are good at arguing, but I'm not talking about that. But now,
What's the difference? You're saying if it's intellectual, you'll put impossible questions. But if it's from the depth of your being, the answers will get resolved and as you go on.
yes,
I think there's a vital difference.
yes, there is tremendous difference.
Yes. For somebody who starts intellectually, if there's some hope that this quality will come into being, or has he necessarily to start from the depth of his being? Because we're all, in a way...
You may start, Narayan, intellectually, and then
Yes.
pour it out of your heart. That's why I'm asking, at what level are you answering this question?
Sir, is there a factor of seeing the necessity of this?
does seeing the necessity of it change it from being just an intellectual desire?
Yes, sir.
or
Do
want?
you feel it is necessary? I put it 10 different ways. No, yeah. Even intellectually, do you agree, sir? Huh?
I think we feel it's necessary more than just an intellectual agreement.
You necessary. All right. Look, lady, you and I feel it's absolutely necessary. Because we are responsible for a new generation. I feel that we're for a new generation, not the old dead body of people called society. So, if that is, you and I want that, how shall we set about it? I'm asking you, sir, all of you, how shall you, sir, set about it? Mr. Venkatraman?
It looks a very attractive idea when you describe of a new human being and a new mind to be brought about, and you ask how will you set about, which implies bringing about in another that new mind.
No, no, sir, not only that. I see it's important and say, how shall I do this? I'm asking myself. I've got 200 or 300 students. How shall I bring this about? Do you want me to go into it? Gee,
Sir, if we have an idea about what the child ought to grow into, let me complete, sir. Grow into, then we can formulate, we have lots of things around, but we do not know what the child ought to be like, so we don't groom somebody into something.
No.
So if we see it for ourselves, then we do not know what comes out of it, but then our new human being will emerge.
So
the most important thing is whether we are accepting the principle.
That's all I'm...
Yes. But what kind of answer do you think we would expect from us?
I'll answer it for myself.
Maybe most of them are not able to say, but because they feel it.
No, all right.
An answer like yes or no, I don't think would say much to you.
No.
Yes.
I say if in principle we all agree that is the right thing to do, and it is absolutely necessary in principle.
Yes.
Then I ask myself, what shall I do? What are the necessary steps I have to take? What is the circumstances with which I have to deal? The circumstances are there are 300 students in a lovely place. And out of those 300, are there any students outstanding? That's my first question would be. Not only intellectually, but have a affection, all that. Are there any here?
There are some.
No. If you say there are some, do you know there are? Would all of us agree to that?
Yes.
That goes closer.
Yes, definitely.
It may be your personal like for X, Y, Z.
I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, I understand.
No, it could be.
I said...
Partially it could be governed by subjective.
So can we all, putting our personal prejudices, our personal relationships, our son's idea, my son, your daughter, putting all those aside, can we say this boy is good or this girl will be something? Can we all agree to that? Not Rajesh chooses, But all of us together say, we all agree that boy X, Y, Z, A, B, C, all the rest of it, they are the right people, which can only be brought about when you and I are totally impersonal, unbiased. Can we do that? When you say that boy is good, and she says that girl is good, she's saying it absolutely impersonally, and not because it's my son or daughter, or we belong to the Andhra community or some blasted rot. But when you say that boy is good, I accept it because you come from that. Your decision is out of a clarity, not out of prejudice. Can we do that? Come on, sirs. Huh? What? Will you, not can.
So there's one question in this. To whatever extent one can see one's personal factors coming in, they can be pushed out, they can be out because you don't want that.
Yeah.
But you can never say that it is impersonal with a kind of stand.
No, sir.
You are not interested in personalities. You are not interested in choosing out of prejudice or choice or any stupid factors, because you are concerned about something which is impersonal. But you cannot say that. How does one say that?
Oh yes, sir. You can say very easily. When you know in your heart that you are really impersonal, you can see it. You are fairly intelligent, enough to say, look, I know where my prejudice is coming, sorry. Or I discuss with you. I say, these are my prejudice. Wipe it out. You follow what I mean? Because your interest, my interest is to find the right boy and right girl. Can we do it? Will you do it? No. You understand this very serious thing what we are undertaking if you want this. Then that means you have to, what will the other students think of it? See, you haven't gone into this. Will they be jealous, antagonistic to these 30? And so make their life miserable? Or how will you deal with it? I know how I'll deal with it, but you see, you're not.
So we've seen some teachers who have taken some students out and then sort of try to groom them or talk to them. But that isolating them, I call that definite isolation because the other of us do see it, practically see it. And so they generally either feel jealous of them, or they have hatred, or things like that.
Quite
so
sure.
what happens is, out of that group also joins the rest of the flock.
I don't know, because
this is a method
fine.
Which I have seen in this place. A
So,
method which has brought about kind of jealousy. And so the whole thing fizzled out.
and so the students that you have chosen, because they can't stand by themselves, join the herd. This is a well-known phenomenon.
That's right.
So what will you do?
Especially while dealing with students who are extraordinary, or not extraordinary, sorry, who do have this kind of...
Yes, X quality.
Yes, this quality. I think should not be taken apart from the rest. Probably, we may have to see that the others also help them out, and then groom them that way.
How will you do this, sir? Suppose I've chosen 20, 30. I don't want antagonism arise between them and the rest. I don't want them, my 20 or 30, to be followed up by them. I don't want to feel that they're the chosen few, and therefore the tremendous sense of antagonism arising in them, and so on, so on. What shall I do?
So one difficulty is that in our approach to any such student in relationship has tended to strengthen or awaken some kind of motivation. Motivation which is a form of communicating to him that we are doing something which is unique, which is quite distinct.
How shall I do it?
I want to wipe out this motive. I
Yes,
want
sir.
to ask,
I understand.
how can one go about this?
I'm asking you.
Because many of the difficulties that arise, perhaps we may be able to cope with them if we know how
I'm
to do
asking
it.
you, sir, Ajuji. I've studied very carefully. I can now, after talking to those students, I can almost pick them up. And how shall I create this sense of non-isolation, exclusiveness, which brings about all the misery of it? What shall I do?
Find out the child's interest.
Huh?
Find out the child's interest.
What?
Find out the child's interest.
No, madam.
Would it help if the child is slightly older? See,
May not.
with a very young child, say around 6th or 7th, you know you can pick him out easily. He's not really biased or
Yes.
he's not yet caught up in the
Caught
herd.
up, yeah.
But at that stage, he is very much part of the herd instinct and he does swerve back to it.
Yes.
however hard you
So
try.
you take all these complications into account. The 7 and 8, they are with you, but they're also with them. If they are of 13, 14, they're already conditioned.
They are in a state of flux.
Flux. But the flux, the leaning over is towards that, not towards this. And take all that into account. What will you do? Huh?
With regard to the senior student, a student who stands for this has to face a stiffer opposition from others.
They are usually ridiculed.
Huh?
They are usually open to ridicule, exposed to ridicule.
I know. Sensitive, open to ridicule, take all those into account. And the other teachers say, oh, look, encouraging the 300, say, look what they're doing. They are belittling you, so it is, you follow?
If the teachers are sensitive to this, the first part of the battle is over.
That's what I'm trying to ask.
I think sometimes the teachers create.
I won't accept the word if.
Yes. When Krishnamurti,
That's better.
as I say, is working with 4 or 5 students, goes for a walk with them,
The others are.
meets them, talks with them, they're whispers. Well, that he's trying to do that, and this. And if that stops, I think we have won the first part of the battle.
But don't you think, Mr. Narayan, that could stop if Krishnamurti Nair took some of us into the thing and told us,
Sure,
look,
sure.
we are working on this.
Yes.
Would you help me to go along with it? That will put aside all
Quite right.
stress.
We can do this.
Isn't
No,
it?
I'm saying.
Wait.
I mean,
See what you have said, just hold. You're all too quick. What would you do?
so, since you don't like the What is it? I might be able to tell him that.
You have chosen 20. Hmm? You don't want to create all the ugly business around those 20. That ugly business may arise in spite of you. And you say, I'm going to prevent it as much as I can. Hmm? And you, as a single unit, who have done this, you want to convince all these others and also the students. You follow? What will you do? You want all of them to work with you. The students, the teachers, and the chosen 20, all of them together. Say, yes, we won't touch them. We won't whisper behind their backs. We won't hurt them. We won't be jealous. What will you all do?
Sir, doesn't choosing those few students also require a cooperative effort?
What?
Togetherness on part of teachers.
What, sir?
Choosing those few students, doesn't it require a little cooperative effort on the part of all of us, or at least most of us?
Yes, I said that, sir, that we passed that stage. I said, can we... Sir, look, sir, don't go back. If I may, I'm not impatient, but I want to go on with this because... Look, sir, I said, in principle, if we all agree that it is absolutely necessary for a survival of a school of the right kind, that we put aside all our personal prejudices, biases, my son opposed to his son and daughter, put aside completely all that. And you might choose two, and I trust you that you have done that. Put aside all your personal... I'll accept it. And you must accept also, if I say I've really done, I have no prejudice when I've chosen these two, so that we both of us meet on the common ground, which is that we have no bias, no motive.
Sir, then what happens to those who are not chosen?
I'm coming to within half a moment. Just let me finish that. So first, what shall I do? Not to create this antagonism. You understand? What shall I do?
Sir, but I'm not very sure if you choose some people out of the flock, because I'm very sure the moment you choose somebody and pay special attention, there is always bound to be some rivalry from somewhere.
Quite right,
so
sir.
So the choosing part of it is something...
All right, I won't
cannot
choose.
accept.
But I keep an eye on those.
That's right.
What do you mean? Why do you say you can't accept?
You are not meeting my point.
Making a group.
No.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
No.
Choosing and making a group out of it is
Listen, I'll say something.
Yes.
I'm talking to a student. In fact, you don't know who he is.
Yes.
He comes to me and I talk a great deal. It's not a question of choice in which I'm giving him sweets every day. More is demanded of him.
Yes, sir.
If he comes to me and talks, more is demanded of him in relationship, in action, in awareness, etc. It is not a special conferment of a favor.
It is not, as far as you and the students see it.
But you are thinking...
As far as you and the students see it.
No, but you are thinking it is a special favor being conferred.
It isn't. Definitely not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying once you take a group out of out of 300, you take 20 out.
Where?
Wherever you want to do. Take. Or talk to them in a group.
Let's be very clear. I'm not taking them out anywhere.
Yes.
I get 4 or 5 students who are interested in music, let us say.
Yes.
I teach them music.
Yes.
It is a similar situation.
So, how will you deal with it? That you don't want to create antagonism, you don't want to choose, you don't want to say these are select and you are not select. How will you, who agree in principle, who say out of your heart this must be done, how will you deal with it?
Now talk to the talk to all the students.
Huh?
All the students.
Will you?
Talk to all of them. Yes, that's what we do.
No. You are missing my... How will you talk to them? What is your approach? Please listen, sir. What is your approach to the problem? Because your approach is going to decide the problem, right? Right?
Yes, that's the main thing.
I'm doing it, sir. Your approach is going to resolve the problem. What is your approach?
Krishnaji, it seems that the interest is within us to foster this in the students. It seems that there are naturally going to be some students that take to it and that are going to be interested. And it seems then that there's that contact without any special selection.
I understand, but I'm asking, what is your approach? You're not answering my question. Forgive me if I insist on it. What?
As far as students are concerned, I'm talking about the question. There is not much of a problem. Because the other children also see that you love them. They see it. And they see that you are demanding something from all of them. Something
wait,
which is impossible.
Rajesh, you are saying, which I was also thinking, which is, I won't come into it yet. I want to ask you, how do you approach this problem which I'm putting in front of you? The problem is this, 20 or 30, no rivalry, no antagonism, no hatred. They are not the chosen few, and so make them conceited. And the whole thing, that's your problem. What is your not this, forget the students, what is your approach to the problem? How do you approach it?
If in my mind there is no discrimination, no comparison, no...
Oh, there is. Those boys are better than... Don't be factual. This boy is more intelligent. He's awake. He's got that sense of... The other man, he says, oh, all right. So don't...
Affection for the other also.
No, sir. How are you approaching the problem?
Sir, I don't know how to answer this question, but it's happening in my house.
Sir, forget your house. What you are doing. Help me how to approach the problem correctly. You understand my question? Because my approach to the problem is going to resolve the whole thing.
It's not as though only these few, chosen few, are those that matter, and I write off the rest. It's not, my approach is not that.
No. So your approach is not this group opposed to the rest group. I want the approach.
Yes, that's the approach.
Wait. Let me get that clear. Let's all get that clear. Your approach is non-exclusive, which might create rivalry and so on, but your approach is you want to help all the students, all of them. But there are few who can be helped more. And tell me what your other people's...
I keep an eye on these few, spend time with them. I will always be careful to see that the others don't think that I am showing them some preferential treatment. Sir, in actual living among the students...
I am showing you preferential treatment. Don't fool ourselves with words. I am showing preferential difference because my son is not bright. Your son is bright.
But sir, if it's put on the basis that these are special students, more intelligent, more something, there will be a sense of special favor. If you, as Naran said, certain students study music, do the other students feel left out because certain students are
So what is your approach?
If the selection...
Not when. What is your actual approach to the problem?
These children are not better in some way, but they have a certain capacity
Quality. I won't use the word better. Certain quality which the other haven't got. Why do we quibble over words? What is your approach to this?
Krishnaji, I don't understand why it's such a problem. It seems that, as Mr. Prasad says, if you're there with all 300, some of the students are going to have that quality and they're going to come forward also, and then you're meeting that. And it doesn't seem that the other students are going to think you're doing a favor trip. It seems much more that they're going to see that there's some students that have more energy. It seems that it's coming from the students also.
Or that certain students are interested in this.
Don't address me, address them. I'm out of the room. I've asked once, if I may ask a simple question. If we don't see this point, let's discuss it. The approach to the problem is going to resolve the problem. If the approach is not clear, the problem will go on multiplying, confusing, growing bigger and bigger. So I'm asking, what is your actual approach to this question, which is, there must be no jealousy, no rivalry, no sense of the chosen few, and yet they are chosen. Don't fool yourself around with words. And yet they have got minds, hearts, a sense of innocency the other fellow hasn't got. Taking all that into account, how do you come to it? After stating that, I walk out of the room, so discuss it.
Why can't it seem that the step is made by the student himself? That if we're there as staff and we're doing what Mr. Prasad suggests, then why can't it seem to the other 300 that the step is coming from the interested student, and that that's open to all of them if they want to take that step, as long as we're there?
Does not imply any superiority in any
I agree all that, I don't repeat all that. I'm just asking you, how do you approach this problem? Apparently you don't.
If the child can be made aware of his own sensitivity, if the child can be made aware of its own sensitivity, I'm sure half the battle is won.
Is that your approach?
I feel that when a child is very kind and gentle, we just give him the necessary encouragement he should. And that, that will help him on.
Is that your approach? That's how you'll approach the problem? You put the responsibility on the child? You put the responsibility on the child?
Partially.
And then,
it's just his responsibility.
is that your approach? That you say the child, his response is vital. So but the child doesn't know the problem. You put it to him. Right? So, forgive me. You're going back to the child. I refuse to move from my position. I want to find out from each one, I'm putting this question to each one of us. What is your approach? Because the approach matters enormously than the problem.
Sir, just as in an academic class, when a child is a little backward or something, we do take extra time with him and help him to come up to the grade. In a similar manner, we could bring it out that this child has got a little more to offer than the others. Let him share it with the whole class and with us.
Is that your approach?
Well, I would see it that way. I hope to.
Your approach, not the child.
Not the child.
What is your approach, madam? Shall I hug you, do anything to answer my question?
I love the child. I'll stand by the child and then bring out whatever I feel that is important for him and for the rest of the class.
Sir, I see there's only one approach, sir. I mean, as I see it. And that is that I have this enormous love for the whole principle.
Have you?
I don't. Yes.
Have you? Don't say yes, because we're not playing with words. This is a very serious problem. You're just playing around with it. What's my approach? Narayan, what is our approach?
I would like to say something which happened last night. A very sensitive father came and told me, my son is a very sensitive chap from what I see. And it is so. He said, will you protect him?
Huh.
I said, it will be my
strange father.
Yes. I said, it will be my first concern to protect him. Because I think there are two while in some situations, I would say that the responsibility also rests with the child, and in a way he has to meet it.
No,
I think there's also the instinct of protecting such a child. That's my approach. There is a protective care, which is an ongoing thing, not a...
So your approach is to this problem. I'm talking about this problem.
Yes.
A protection.
A protective care.
Protective care for the whole group of children, for all of them. And out of that protective care for all of them, you say, these few I'll protect more. Is that your approach?
To some extent, yes.
No, you're all hedging.
It is a part. It's a part.
No, I would refuse to part and partial.
When I say protective, it's not a favorite situation.
Of course not favoritism and all that nonsense.
If that's cut out, yes.
The very fact that you are going to be protective will intensify the jealousy in them amongst the others.
That's right. It's not a favorite. I said. These problems will come, and I'll meet it. I have to meet it. Somebody is going to be jealous.
Which means that it will be worse for the child.
That's why. How
you won't be there to protect the child.
No, but it depends on what you mean by protection.
Care is not a
You see how you're quabbling. You see you're off.
Yes. So to me the challenge seems to be non-discriminatory about the whole and yet protect.
I am discriminating.
Yes,
don't use words.
But that's the challenge, sir. To be so completely non-discriminatory about the whole.
So you're not discriminating openly.
Hey!
Sir, you see, you keep an eye on the children. It's not as though you take a group out. It is not like that. Keep an eye and follow.
Mr. Prasad, you've taken a group out. I go to a music teacher, and I'm very keen on music, and he sings with me, helps me more, and I learn more. Would you say it is discrimination?
Certainly not. I'm not interested in you.
Supposing somebody wants to study and discuss with me, and he's very keenly interested in
mathematics,
whatever it is, and the other person is not interested. Is it discrimination?
No.
I do a lot of that.
No.
But is it at the same level, Mr. Narayan? A child is interested in music or a child isn't interested in music, then it is easy, you see.
No, music,
but
discussion,
is this also
studying,
in the
various things.
The moment you say
level.
then it becomes a
I
child's
wonder whether it is
interest and not
No.
our approach to the whole thing again.
He comes, I'm also interested when he comes, I study, discuss, I do various things with him. Would you call that discrimination? I do it with X, but I don't do it with Y, because Y doesn't come to me, it looks as though he's not interested in this. And sometimes I go out and find somebody has it, I create opportunities where I meet him and do this. Would you call that discrimination?
Certainly not, of course not.
No, it starts that way. All this work starts that way. In fact, I'll tell you a situation. Krishnamurti meets 3 or 4 children. He finds they are very receptive to this. He brings them to me and we chat with them. Is that discrimination? We have done it. 3 or 4 children. And they are interested, they go deeper into this. So that's the starting point. Then it goes on. Is that discrimination? I don't, let us say, ask a 12th class student who is not interested. But I ask these students to come and discuss with me.
And if some other child who has not been part of this group sees that something that he is interested in is he free to say, may I
Yes,
join the discussion?
yes. They have joined, one or two have joined like that. In some cases they want to come. Sometimes one or two drop out because they say, well, this is boring.
Yes.
So all this process goes on.
It
is not a
permanent group.
It is not a selection which I make out of my bias. This has happened in the last 6 months.
So one thing I would like to know, is there any part of motivation on the part of the child? Or is it just pure interest and pure sensitivity to the whole thing?
I am not going to judge. The only thing I say, he seems to be meeting the challenge. He's interested. His discussion is valid. He sees something, and that's all. I don't even know whether it is something which is going to survive. I don't know. But I take care to see that I nourish it, not with sweets.
No, exactly.
Perhaps we have forgotten the earlier part in which we said that the moment slightest exclusion occurs, all relational strains develop of jealousy. And if some come to you and others don't, if they come to know that you are friendly and not with others, the child is going to go through that whole problem. You may not be discriminating, but you are still concerned about the child who should not develop the strain on him of exclusiveness.
But if the other children are free to join, if that's their interest, then would there be that feeling that this is an exclusive group?
In fact, what has happened is, I did this with third class students for 3 months. After some time, one or two dropped out because they thought it was not what they wanted. One or two whom I didn't expect joined. I think in this situation, it's not a favorite situation at all. But I think what we are discussing something different from this, something more vital. If you find a child who is very sensitive, a age group of lower, how do you sustain him? There must be some way of sustaining him so that as he grows older, he doesn't lose this. It's a problem of many educators. They say you must protect the innocence of the child. And sometimes you may do certain things which looks like a favoritism, but it may not be. I'm not bothered if you think my protective care is being interpreted as favoritism. I don't mind. I know what I'm doing.
Why do you protect children and do not open the challenge to all?
Pardon me?
Why do you protect some and why don't we challenge or give this challenge to all? Those who are responding to it will.
You give the challenge to all. Supposing you take a discussion group, 30, you give the challenge to all of them. 4 or 5 respond and say, can we come and meet you and discuss this further? Right? First you have got to, for instance, I was doing that work with 11th class for 3 months. They were like a wall in the beginning. Just like a wall. I'm keeping on at them. They're now opening up. I'm presenting it to the whole class. But there are 4 or 5 who are more interested in that. So I spend more time with them. Would you call that choosing? It is, but it is right choice. If you are very skilled in tennis and you want to be coached by me, I see if you can run and if you can see, and what is wrong in that kind of choice. Certain other students don't feel. Sometimes the teachers who don't understand, who whisper, not the students.
It all depends on how you are able to look at the whole thing without any bias or prejudice involved in the whole thing.
I think sometimes it arises. If I don't like Krishnamurti and he is doing this work, I try to say, well, this, that. It is nothing to do.
But if you could talk to Krishnamurti, why should you go about talking about it then? Openly talk to him and find out where you differ and whether he can put you right on your way of thinking. The problem is solved.
Do that. If you have difficulties, you don't understand a certain situation, you can always go to a person and say, why are you doing this? He might be able to explain to you. But first you must clear that up and not whisper.
I think the first thing that we have got to do is to open up and be more free with one another rather than, hedge around like this. Or whisper around. Since you've said that about whispers, I feel that one way of getting rid of all these trivial things would be to open up and be more close to one another and really share what we're doing.
Mrs. Major, have you answered my question?
I haven't yet, sir, and I really don't know how I'm going to answer it.
You have to. Have you answered my question? What's your approach? I've answered for myself.
Sir, I feel that since we look after weaker children in a special way, there should be no feeling of discrimination if we do look after a sensitive group.
We have gone through all that.
Well, that's about all I
Don't repeat it. Don't repeat it anymore. We are going repeating it 10 different ways.
So when you use the word, what's your approach? I really don't know how to answer this question because I don't start, it's not an approach. I'm sorry, I'm not quibbling.
I'll tell you it to you in a minute, if you'll give me time. Do you want me to find out how I approach a problem? This problem? Do you?
Please.
I
don't know how to answer this.
Come over here. How do I approach the problem?
Are you implying that if in the approach there are no complications, then in the result, whatever the result is, there's no regret in it? Are you implying that?
Partly.
Apart from that, is there an approach? If you have an approach, can you transmit to me? Not.
First of all, what is the problem? First of all, what is the problem? I want to see the problem first. The problem is so complicated, which is choice. You use 10 different words, it doesn't matter. Choice, discrimination, no rivalry, no sense of exclusiveness. That is there in front of me. How do I come to that, resolve this problem, which is so very complex? It isn't just one or two, it's all of us, right? It's a complex problem. We agree? Now, how shall I approach a complex problem? Come on, sir. Mathematician. Tell me how mathematics is a tremendously complex, right? Right, sir? How shall I approach it? You see, you have all got opinions. I have no opinion. I mean it. I say, I really don't know. It's such an extraordinary new issue put before me. First I must look at it. Not say what I remember, all the rest of it. I must look at it. Now, how do I look at it? Please, we are teaching each other. Don't say you agree or disagree. We are learning from each other now. First, I look at, there is the problem. The problem is inevitably gets more and more complex as we go along. So, as it is a very, very complex problem, my approach is first, I don't know what to do about it. Right? Do you agree, sir? I don't know. And I mean I don't know, which means I have no opinions. I don't say, but this should be done, that I have absolutely nothing. I really don't know. I'm not waiting for you to tell me. I actually don't know. Right? Could we start from that? Are you in that position? No, not intellectual. Actually, you don't know. So what has happened? What has happened to your mind when you say, I really don't know?
When it is open and alive.
What's your mind, sir? I'm asking you, not when it is open. I'm asking you, as the problem is so very complex, and so far you have offered opinions, right, which are, is your opinion as good as mine or hers or somebody else. So I put aside all that. So I say I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't pretend I know, or I'm expecting to know. I don't know. Are you like that?
I think we are still caught in the petty little details.
I don't know. Which means what? Would you tell me? When you don't know, what's the state of your mind that says, I don't know? Huh? No, I don't know what to find out. If I say I must find out, it'll be prejudice. I have a motive. You follow? So when I say I don't know, it is right to the bottom of my being. I don't know. Would you accept that? Would you, are we prepared to say that? That I don't know. Rajesh, would you say that?
I'm not in that state, sir, now.
No, for God's sake, now what do you mean not that stage now? After an hour and a half you stay. I'm asking you. You see what I'm trying, you'll follow it a minute, follow it. If I don't know, my mind is capable of observing the whole. Does it mean anything to you, this statement? Because that must be dealt not in details, but as a whole issue. I don't know if you see that.
That's what I said, sir.
No, you didn't say that.
I said we're still caught in the details.
I know, cut out all the details. I said to you, I don't know. I mean, I'm talking seriously. I don't know. So my mind is incapable of having opinions, judgments, details at the moment, right? So being totally not knowing, such a mind is capable of looking at the whole thing, not partially. I wonder if I'm making myself clear. Don't go off into meditation, just watch it.
So does that mean we don't see the pockets or the conflicts between exclusiveness and things like that? There is no distinction.
I told you there's nothing. I'm seeing the whole of the problem, which is exclusive, all the rest. I see the whole problem. I don't approach it with the details, with opinions, judgments, what is right, what's exclusive. Now, because when I approach the thing as a whole problem, I see the whole thing.
So then all of us have to see it as a whole.
Do you, for lovely lady, stop all. This is very serious what I'm saying. It's not just a plaything. Therefore, my approach is the perception of the whole. And I'm going to act from the whole. Right? Now, what is this whole? All that you have said told me. Rivalry, this, that, choice. So, I am going to act from this perception of the whole. Right, Nara? Am I conveying this anything to anybody? Mr. Prasad? Are you, am I communicating with you? So, the whole being, all the students, all the teachers, right? So, I would talk to all the teachers and all the students. I'll make them see this, right? That is tremendously important, absolutely necessary, that the school should flower as a whole, right? Right? Would you say, as a whole? Then what? What next? How am I going to help the student who won't flower, who is already so heavily conditioned, he's insensitive, dull, all the rest of it. I'm not being critical of the poor chap. So how shall I deal with 300 boys and 40 or 50 teachers, right, as a whole? Come on, sir, now you all come to me, let's discuss this. If you understand what I've said, if I have been capable of communicating with you this quality of wholeness, which is what? The quality of wholeness, the quality. What is that quality? Don't guess. Don't offer an opinion. If you haven't got it, if you don't see the whole of it, you haven't got it. You can pretend through words and all that, but if you... So, the quality, I won't mention it even, because that becomes trivial. The words make it so ugly. So, I am moving, I am approaching the problem as a whole. Then what takes place?
First, the mind which says that I don't know only can answer this.
So we have gone through that. We've gone through that. I asked, do you feel that you don't know? Somebody said, yes, I think I've captured the meaning of it. That means you're...
From saying you don't know to seeing the whole is a chasm to most of us, I think.
Is a chasm, is it? If I use a word to represent the whole, you'll all agree. And then you say, how do I get at it? Mr. Prasad, is it a chasm to you? This demands honesty. Don't, not dishonest. I'm not saying when I ask a question of this kind, which is very serious, you might say, sorry, I won't answer you. You're perfectly right. And I won't feel hurt or disrespectful and all the rest of that nonsense. Do you see the problem as a whole?
said, when you came to that yourself, you said you see the whole and you see the rivalry, the jealousy, and you dismissed, you didn't go on. But those are still parts, not the whole.
No, I'm just, that's what I am still, when I dealt with the details, it is still the whole. Come on, this.
No, sir, we see details, we see many, many parts and problems in it.
Now, all right, let me go into it. The mind that is whole is not broken up into fragments. Right? Right? Right, sir? It is not a fragmentary outlook. Right? Is your mind fragmentary when you look at that problem? Then, if it is, your mind has not perceived the wholeness of it. I don't know if I'm communicating. If you are tired, we'll continue tomorrow. Please, are you tired? The whole can accept the part, but the part cannot accept the whole. Right? The many spokes don't make the whole wheel. So most of us are discussing about the spokes, and so we never meet. But if you are concerned with the whole, that is, your whole mind is observing the totality of the thing, observing the totality of the tree, then you can go to the particular from the whole. Right? Is this Greek still?
So with the tree, one can observe most of the tree by looking at it. You don't see the roots, but you see what's above ground.
Go on, be quick.
Problem. When you talk about the wholeness of a human situation, which this is,
we have
a lot of spokes. But
I know that there are lots of spokes, lots of fragments. My mind has always dealt with fragments. And when I look at the whole, when I look at this thing, it is whole. In that there are fragments. My mind isn't fragmented. If I can, see, I don't want to use that word. I'm always dealing from the whole, right? Even though it is fragmentary, it is the whole that is looking at the particular. Then you're off. Huh?
How does one move from the whole if one has not perceived it?
You can't.
You are stating that I don't know as a valid approach.
Absolutely. A scientist who is worth anything, he says, I don't know, let's look.
I think the difficulty there can't be a wholeness unless one is in the state actually when he can say, I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I said, please, right from the beginning, I said, when you say you don't know, don't pretend. Don't say, well, I'll find out from you or somebody else. You don't know. Nobody can answer it. Because the person who is answering it is fragmentary. Right?
Also, when you see the limitation of knowledge, you cannot operate here from the field of knowledge.
I don't know.
I'm saying this.
See the extraordinary importance of that statement and the feeling behind that statement. Actually, not knowing. Don't describe it by me openness. Those are just words.
Sir, is there a way of moving from the parts to the whole, since we're so caught up in the parts?
There is no way. You drop the past. If you have hurt me, and then I can't see the whole. Right? I can only see the whole if I drop my hurt and say, look,
there's one other problem. When one says, I don't know, one has jolly well to know because one has to act in
I'm
an
going
actual
to
setting.
I'm going to act, but I'm acting from the whole.
So is it that most people saying, I don't know, is not a whole...
That's all, Maria. I've said so. When you
it sort of says, I don't know, and the mind stops.
The mind is still looking.
Yeah, I'm not looking.
Or the mind sort of gives up.
When I say I don't know, I mean I don't know. I'm not waiting for an answer. I'm not expecting to find an answer. I'm not looking from the past to find through memory some answer. I don't know. The not knowing state is the whole. Then I can approach it afresh. Right, sir?
Sir, again then you approach it.
Huh?
And then you are saying that from I don't know.
I said, look, that very quality of I don't know is the wholeness.
Sir, could we talk about the moving from the wrong kind of I don't know to the right kind of I don't know?
Yes, if you like to put it that way.
Because there's a wrong kind of I don't know that doesn't lead anywhere. So how can we go from
You
that
can't.
No. Or how
You see,
does the right
that's
kind of I
all
don't know
tricks.
come about?
You can't move from darkness to light. Darkness must end, and then there is light.
How can that come about, sir?
Can fragmentary answers resolve the problem? Your opinion, my opinion, his knowledge, he says, I've tried this and you have tried this, and so on. All that is fragmentary knowledge, right? Fragmentary approach. And through fragmentary approach, you're not going to solve a tremendously complex problem. If that is clear, not verbally, but actually it's clear, that you cannot solve a very complex human problem through fragmentary approach, then you drop the fragmentary approach. Your personal opinion, your judgments, I've tried this, I have not tried that, let's all work, others are all fragments.
Are you then saying, sir, that seeing the inadequacy of all the normal approaches and the I don't know that comes from that is...
That is through the inadequacy, you hope to have the whole.
No, seeing that all of the normal approaches are inadequate,
you drop it.
You drop to it, and then you come to a state of I don't know, and that...
You drop it. Don't say then. When you drop it, you're in a state of I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't come from that to this. Like, fear isn't the opposite of bravery. If you end fear, you're beyond bravery and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Huh?
So sometimes the mind reaches that state when it is thoroughly exhausted.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm not exhausted. Then that is just laziness, tiredness, exhaustion.
What do you mean, exhausted through looking?
No, then it has no energy you to think.
No, because you have employed energy wrongly through analysis, through discussion, through blah, blah, blah. You have employed that extraordinary quality of energy uselessly. And from that stage you say, I don't know.
That's the wrong kind of I don't know. Corpus entering.
Then you give up.
Totally inadequate.
No, sir, look at it. It's extraordinary, this. From the whole, I'm approaching the problem. Right? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
From the whole. The problem demands action. Action must imply the wholeness. Right? Therefore, what? You're waiting for me now? I know, I'll give it to you. I'll go into it. But don't, you see, you're all expecting. That's what Paul made. Therefore, your mind is not knowing. You understand, sir? Rajesh? The problem demands action. Not tomorrow, I must do it now, right? But before action, there must be absolute certainty that I'm approaching it wholly. Right? Right, sir? I am. So, how shall I deal with it? The 300 boys and girls, I wish they were all on the same level, with the same sensitivity, the same beauty, the same innocence, the same quality of affection and curiosity and all that. And they're not. That's a fact. So, wholeness implies that I'm dealing only with facts. Right? Right? Not my opinion, your opinion, judgment. So, will you and I deal only with facts? The facts are that there are boys and girls who are not on the same level. Right? Obviously, that's a fact. Biological genes, heredity, society, all the rest of it, they're not on the same level. And I'm only dealing with facts. Because the moment I move away from the fact, I deal with fragments. Is that right? Follow it? So, the facts are that. Now, what is the right action with regard to that fact? You understand, sir? Am I conveying anything? Are you getting tired? Please, just stop. If you're getting tired, get up and let's drop in, pick it up tomorrow. Can you follow what I'm... Huh? So, my mind is the whole. Its approach is not fragmentary, therefore it's whole. And that wholeness implies dealing with the facts, not with opinion, judgments, and so on. The facts are people are not the same. All children are born innocent. That means nothing. So I'm dealing with facts. The fact says they are unequal. Now how shall I deal with this inequality without any sense of the few and the many? Go on, sir, work it out. I'm working. Come on. Have I to work it out? You understand? I'm asking myself. There's the problem. All children, inequality. And I have to act. The right action is only dealing with facts. No emotion, no sentiment, no romanticism, no idealism, no abstraction. Right? Only facts, like mathematics. It's only facts. And how, from the whole, what is the action which must not be fragmented? You understand me? I wonder if the fact cannot be fragmented, right? You're right, sir? Come with me. No, I have understood. No, don't say yes or no. I forgot what I'm talking about. They are the fact. The fact is inequality. And there must be action from the whole which admits the fact, right? But action must be whole. I want to make that clear. Right? What is that action which is whole with regard to inequality, which is a fact? Are you asleep? Are you following this, sirs?
Yes, yes.
Huh? Somebody? Yes? What is that action? It is not dealing with fragments. It is moving from the whole, dealing with the fragment. Right? And the fragment, which is a fact.